Good morning. How are you this morning? Welcome. My name's Linda and we're in beautiful Brisbane, Australia today. And as you can see, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, it's hot. We're going through summer while you're enjoying a nice cool winter. Cooler than the winters in Brisbane, by the way. And welcome. If you're here for the replay today, remember to hit hashtag replay because I always love touching base with everybody. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up and we will do our best to answer everything that we possibly can. And also, what was the other thing? Oh, there's so many things in the morning I forget. I apologise. We want to look at reclaiming our mojo when we've got complex Ptsd. And we can do that in a variety of ways. So I want you to grab a note, paper and pen. And if you've got your phone, you can put notes on there. And actually, your phone would probably be better because we take these our little mini computer, we take everywhere we go. Because what you want to do with your notes is take notes so that the next time you go and see your therapist or trauma coach, you want to say, right, this is what I can see happening in my life, or with today's especially, with regaining our mojo, what we want to do is say, okay, this is one area where I want to work towards putting into place strategies and building a deeper awareness of why I can't do what I want to do, and work with your therapist or trauma coach in order that you can work towards one area of reclaiming your mojo. Now, hi Charlene, hi Alison, great to have you with me. Now, if you're like me and you go, right, I want to do the whole lot at once, don't, okay? Because it's not our fault that we lost our mojo, for starters. If you watched the brain video the other day, you'll understand that as children, the overwhelm, part of what it did was blunt our sensory self, anyhow, one of those systems down. And look, just know that our system got blunted. That's the easiest way to think of it. So what we're going to do is look at ways to bring our mojo back, which means we're going to come off blunt and we're going to come into feeling alive again. Okay, so let's grab our infographic for today. Okay, so one of my friends from school brought this up yesterday, thank you, about reclaiming our mojo. How do we do it? Now, one of the most important things, and actually if you write this down, because our memory, due to everything that's happening with our brain, our memory is a challenge, okay? It's not something that can't be overcome. I lost my memory completely. Like I literally had no memory of how to do things, and I couldn't talk, etc., etc. So we do have the ability to reclaim everything. But for now, because there'll be a fair bit of info, I want you to write this bit down. With our brain and with hypovigilance, and there's a video on the hypovigilance, we lose big sections of time. Now, what happens when we lose big sections of time is our brain has gone offline. So we've been triggered, we weren't aware that we were triggered, and then all of a sudden we've lost time, we can recognise it, and this is the only way I've been able to begin to recognise when my brain goes offline, is that I have a list each day of what I want to do, and it's not one of those lists that are overwhelming at all. It's like, my list is like, so at 5 I'm up, I'm doing my meditation, devotional, I'm doing my exercise, and then I'm doing my live, okay? And there's times on that, and then for the rest of the day too. So I've either got classes or clients. Now, because I have times around those things, what I've been able to become aware of is when my brain goes offline. So it gets triggered, and all of a sudden I've lost track of time, okay? So what we want to build into ourselves as part of reclaiming our mojo is building in the awareness of when our brain goes offline. So it gets triggered, we lose time, and we're not able to focus on what we want to get done. Now, I literally only became aware yesterday that this is, well, I've known it's happening for me in the past, but in a bigger context. Yesterday I went, oh my goodness, I'm beginning to be able to see where it goes offline, and it's very, very subtle. Okay, so you may not have an anxiety attack with the trigger. You may not, you may continue to go about your day, but all of a sudden at the end of the day you're gone, I haven't even been able to focus on what I want to do. And loss of focus is something that we work towards bringing back into our life, okay? So it's not bad, it's all doable and workable with, but just learn to turn it around and say, right, I want to do this because I want to bring my focus back to what I want to do in my life, and part of what I want to do is being able to reclaim my mojo, okay? I want to feel alive again. So the first thing you want to be able to do, well, not the first thing you want to be able to do, but part of reclaiming our mojo is education. So education around complex PTSD, and it's important because as we begin to know what's happening at our brain level, we begin to be able to go, oh my goodness, that's what's happening. So if you think years ago, like decades ago, what happened was I never knew that I had anxiety, okay? So the first day I went to work in the city, in Sydney City, on the way home on the train, I was very, very ill. Migraine, sick, etc., etc. But I didn't know 30 odd years ago that that was anxiety, okay? We didn't have language around it. But as the years progressed, we began to have anxiety around we began to have language around all the different mental health challenges that we face, okay? Now, the same is true for us with complex PTSD. We want to read or watch videos or Google information, and one of the best sites with the top professionals around at this time, I don't know if you can see, it's NICABM, and it all stands for something that's big, but all the top professionals are there. If you read one blog a day or one blog a week and just implemented that information into your life, so you built that awareness of where that particular thing's happening for you, then you're going to feel a lot more comfortable letting fresh air in and going, right, I can reclaim my mojo, I can reclaim my life, okay? So education is an important part of reclaiming our mojo, because then we're not going to sit there going, oh, it's all my fault. And because we do, we think, oh my goodness, I should be able to just get up and get on with it. And I'm telling you, we've got to work with our brain, okay? It's our brain that goes offline, not ourselves. Okay, I want you to develop curiosity. I couldn't believe when I heard this word that it had such far-reaching implications for us. We had to shut down as kids, okay? And one of the things that we lost was our curiosity. So when we go, right, I've got this, now I want to be curious about how I can be well, but also I want to be curious about other people and how they see life, and I want to be curious about what else I can experience in life. You know, what do I have on my heart that I want as the next stage of my life? You know, what do I want to do? What adventures would I want to have? And sometimes even just having those thoughts, our brain goes, sorry, not safe, we're not going there. But that's a good thing, because then you go, hey, I'm doing this. It doesn't matter what, I can retrain the brain not to automatically be afraid of everything in life, okay? So trust becomes, we build an awareness that we need trust with curiosity as well. So go on day trips or a short trip outside and become curious of the world around you. Even if you sat in your backyard and just became curious of nature, at least you're developing that whole breadth and awe and wonder at the world around us. Now, if you'd said that to me one time, I would have went, yeah, I'm sorry, I've got better things to do because I have to get this done and this done and this done because I'm a mum. But you know what? The best thing in the world, if I'd known, would have been just to sit down and rest and be in awe and wonder at what's happening around me, okay? Find something new to discover. Look, I'm absolutely passionate about this, so my new always is what's the next thing I need to understand, what's the next thing I want to do, but I also am aware I need to build curiosity about life outside that too, okay, because I'd probably be a very boring person to live with at the moment because I'm so absorbed with learning and understanding and bringing life back into my life, feeling alive, okay? Another key word is connection. With connection comes consistency, but we learn both together, all right? So find ways that you feel comfortable with initially to increase your social connections. So one of the first ways I did this, and I was terrified, was get into a Facebook group. And I was terrified that people were going to come through the screen, and it was just terrifying for me. The first time I pressed the like button, it was terrifying for me. And that might sound funny to somebody whose life has never been like this. But for me, it was a very real sense of terrified. But of course, being me, I pressed the like button anyhow. When, I survived, let's go. And it's developing that attitude of feel the fear and take precautions, but do it anyway, okay? So I can't deny that I'm afraid, but I can go, okay, from childhood, my brain reacts in fear, but I can go, I'm the adult now. What can I do to expand and feel comfortable so that I can work through that I am safe and I'm going to be okay? And anything that I have done, I have had to say, okay, what are the risk factors here? Am I going to be safe? And some of my journey has been, okay, I'm going to go and do this. I'm going to a different place. I've never been there. I get that my brain's triggering and saying I'm afraid and, it's just absolute anxiety pouring out of my body. But I had to question myself and I go, well, that's silly. I should be able to go to this event and not feel afraid. That's just, it's not happening. So we've got to challenge our own thoughts and go, no, I'm going. Anxiety or not, I'm going. But whatever precautions you need, take them for yourself as well. So some of the things I've done over the years when I've gone out wandering is had friends that I can call and say, okay, my body's having a panic attack right now. And we just talk through normal day-to-day stuff. And it actually manages to get my brain back online and know I'm the adult and I'm safe. Okay, so we have to be the ones that go, I can go this far and then I want to stretch myself a bit more and do something more. So what I recognise is some clients haven't been able to go outside in years, so we work on getting them outside, okay? And then from outside they're then able to go to the shops. It's all progressive and you'll know where you next need to stretch yourself, okay? Now, and be consistent, because our body needs to experience it as well. Our body, our whole being, but our body needs to know that you can make a decision and I can trust myself. Okay, you can trust yourself that I'm going to go out and come back. And then what you can do is challenge your brain and say, hey, I went out, I was safe, I'm going again. And look, for me, I used to go out places and I'd stand there and I'd be perspiring from the anxiety. And people are like looking at me going, but we're in air conditioning, why is she perspiring? But I just wouldn't, I know that they'd had the question because it's on their face, but I wouldn't engage in that. I'd just go, right, I've got to get out of here, get the tissues out, mop the perspiration off and go, right. But I sit there and I'd go, I did it and I was safe. So I really had to spend consistent time retraining my brain that I was actually safe to leave my home and go and experience life with other people, okay? Encouragement. Now, I want you to practice encouragement. You can do this in any sort of group that you're in. I obviously started in Facebook groups, but one of the things, and this is actually a scientific fact as well, they've proven it, is when we connect and encourage other people, not only does it build our self-esteem, but it's also a necessary part of our recovery process. So get in and engage and see that you're safe. So always do it in a place where you know that you're emotionally safe, because the last thing that you need is people carrying on. Excuse me. It is just a bit hot here today. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. And you'll find that as we build encouragement into our heart and we encourage other people and be each other's greatest cheer squad, you'll find that you feel good about yourself. It's one of the best ways to feel like I can get my mojo back. Okay? It's good, I promise. And recovery happens together because the trauma didn't happen on our own. All right? So we have to build these connections in, build the encouragement, and be our own greatest cheer squad. Believe in ourselves and say, yes, I can do this. I'm going to win this battle no matter what. All right? Now, our emotions, our heart. I want you to understand there's two sides. Well, there's multiple sides, but predominantly for the moment, there's two sides to what we're feeling. There's the side that we show the world, okay? And then there's the side that we're trying to hide on the inside, which people can usually read on our face anyhow. Work with both. So be honest with yourself and say, right, this is what I need to do and this is what I'm showing on the outside, but this is what I'm feeling on the inside. And in order to get our mojo back from that state, it's going to be, okay, this is what I'm feeling on the inside, and I'm going to ask, is it true or not? Do I have to go back over the past? No. I had this exact thing happen this morning. I got up and I was getting ready for gym, and all of a sudden my thoughts go back to decades ago. And I think one of my things in my heart is that I really and truly wished that my first marriage had worked out, because he was the father of my children and so much more. He's deceased now, and it has been for some time. But I always wish that he could have seen that we could have had a life together, okay? And then I went, you know what? I need to put that down. I just need to put it down. There's nothing I can do to change what happened at all. And I know that for all of us, we have times in our life and we have those heart moments where we go, I wish. And you know what? We can't do that for ourselves because we've got today. That's it. We've got today, and we want to be able to go, I want my mojo for today. And know that the love that we felt for all those people, we've still got it there, okay? And it's just that our lives change over time, and that love that we have for people will just change. Who gets it, who we get it from. It's a beautiful, even exchange. Well, who knows if it's even or not. It's just a beautiful exchange that we can share with each other, okay? So building that, the awareness of what's happening for you externally, what's happening for you internally, and one of the things we do to do that is journal. I have journaled for decades, and the self-reflection and the internal understanding that I've had of myself or gained from doing that, I would not be where I am today without journaling. It's a really concrete way, and I do it probably the old-fashioned way today, pen and paper, but getting it out onto the paper and being able to be in that quiet space where I can go, this is what's happening internally, this is what's happened externally, and then building the togetherness between both of them, okay? I want you to be able to take your time and grab your mojo back. So only choose one, and remember, everything with codependence is consistency. We need to build in the consistency, and building in the consistency means that we will become aware of when our brain goes offline, and we've had no control over that. Now, to somebody who's never been through complex PTSD, they will not understand how your brain can just go offline, but it does. It gets triggered, we're gone, we're losing time, we're going to hypervigilance. I want you to just today take a deep breath and go, I can do this. I can take one thing, one step once a day, and I can do this. And if I start feeling the joy in my heart and start giving it to somebody else, then it's going to build double joy into my heart. Okay, I will put up the infographic. Don't you just love how this is back to front? Trying to get your brain to go, okay, it's back to front. That's when you realise that your coordination is totally out of whack. But again, we can do stuff to get our coordination back as well. I'm currently working through that. I will put the infographic up so that you can have it close, even if you put it on your phone in your photos. Okay, so download it into your photos so you can go, okay, this week or this couple of weeks, depending where you are in recovery, like where I was initially, I would have only taken one of these and I would have worked on it for quite some time, because it would have taken my brain, my emotions, my gut, the whole brain system, time to absorb all the information, time to absorb what's happening physically, time to absorb what's happening internally, and to see where I need to change behaviour, where I need to understand what is the belief that's driving all of this, and so much more. Okay, so work with somebody. Don't sit at home on your own. This is not done on our own. We have to work with somebody, okay? I love you all heaps. Thanks for joining in. If you're on YouTube, hit subscribe for the latest video. And I look forward to, if you want a topic covered, please feel welcome to let me know. It's not a problem. And I will see you all tomorrow morning. Have a gorgeous day. And remember, we're the tortoise. We take it slowly and we win the race. Okay, bye for now.